Hello, hello. This is Patty-Jo. I am having some technical difficulties, so I'm redoing what I tried to record yesterday, and I'm going to do it in shorter sessions. We are going to be starting with day one, and this is the second witness of the day, and this is going to be Corey Runkle, I believe her name is, and I have watched several commentaries who were kind of dismissive of her, but as somebody who has sat on a jury, I can say I found her to be truthful and honest. She was talking to naturally as she would talk, which actually lends, in my mind, credibility. I may not have understood all of her slang, but I'm not sure if that says something about her or something about me. So I do want to say that I found her testimony more credible than actually some people that came off a little bit more maybe, I hate to say educated, but some of the officers try to sound so professional and talked so much officer lingo that, I found that to be a little bit condescending to me, I guess, whereas she was talking honestly and openly. And we'll just get to watch Darrell Brooks' shenanigans and him being disrespectful of her as he is of all A, women, and B, witnesses. And okay, let's moving on.
How about I just use over here? We'll just
sorry.
put it behind.
I know that causes it to pause. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just take it. Just stick it behind. That easel can stay there. All right, and my clerk Teresa's over here. If you would raise your right hand, she'll swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I solemnly swear.
Thank you, ma'am. Please have a seat.
That's loud for me. So.
We'll get that settled, and then the first thing I will ask you to do, excuse me, is to state and spell your first and last names for the record.
My name is Corey Runkle, and it's spelled K-O-R-I-R-U-N-K-E-L.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Runkle. Do you know a person named Erica Patterson?
Yes.
How do you know that person?
From the shelter.
What shelter are you talking about?
Women's shelter.
What city is the women's shelter in?
Waukesha.
And when did you meet Erica Patterson?
Around probably October, I think.
Okay. You are not used to testifying in court, right?
Not really.
I'm going to ask you to scoot a little bit forward. The nice lady in front of you is...
Microphone a little bit, a little closer.
We just have to make sure that everybody can hear, especially the court reporter in front of you, because she's writing everything down, okay?
Okay.
So can you answer, when did you meet Erica Patterson?
Either October or November.
Of what year?
21 this year.
2021?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you meet her at the women's shelter that you're talking about? Okay. What was your living arrangements at the shelter?
Okay, it wasn't this year, it was last year, I think.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay. And what were your living arrangements at the women's shelter?
We were bunking together.
You and Erica?
Yeah.
Okay. While you were bunking together with Erica at the women's shelter, did Erica ever talk about a boyfriend of hers?
It wasn't her boyfriend.
Okay. Did she ever talk about a man?
Yeah.
And did she ever provide the name of that man?
Yeah.
What was it?
Darrell Brooks.
Okay. Were you with Erica on the afternoon of November 21st, 2021?
Yes, until I split up with her.
Okay. Can you tell us where you were with Erica before you split up with her?
I forgot what park it was, but we were at the park where the dragonfly was, except for we were at the docks.
Is that in Waukesha?
Yeah.
Okay. And the docks. Are you talking about a river?
Yeah.
So it was a park by the river?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you doing with Erica in the park?
Hanging out.
Okay. Was anybody with you?
Yeah. Kyle.
Okay. And you mentioned that you split up with Erica at some point. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you remember why?
To go hang out with Nick.
Do you know Nick's last name?
Kirby.
Okay. And Erica didn't go with you?
No.
Okay. So what happened after you split up with Erica?
She met up with Darrell.
How do you know that?
Because she was on the phone with him and they said that they were going to meet up.
Now, before that day, November 21st, had you ever met Darrell Brooks?
No.
You'd only heard his name from Erica?
Yeah.
Okay. After you split up with Erica and she went to hang out with Darrell, did Erica ever contact you or Nick after that point?
Yeah.
How did that contact take place? Did she see you or did she call you? How
No,
did that
she
happen?
called me on my cell phone.
Okay. And what was the nature of that conversation?
That he was beating her up and he was following her.
Okay. What did you do when you learned this information from Erica?
Me and Nick started running to where she told us she was.
Where was that?
By the school.
Okay.
I forgot what school it was, but it was by the school.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to stop right here because my understanding and background with domestic issues, and I so hesitate to really call this domestic as we understand it as a society, is coming from several different areas. Background experience on my own personally, and experience as a medical professional, and experience teaching paramedics how to deal with domestic issues. A lot of first responders even will have the attitude they're just going to go back. They're, this is a dead-end street. There's nothing really I can do. They've got such bad, poor attitudes towards this. Number one, the reason why I hesitate to call this domestic in the way that we understand it socially is Erica, and we'll learn this later in the trial too, and I know we all know this, but Erica, spoiler alert is what I'm trying to say, was very young when she got entangled with this abusive, very narcissistic behaving person who was an adult at the time. So I would not call that domestic at that point. I would call that abusive, and she lacked at that point where she became his victim for many years any kind of the support that is required to exit a situation like that. It requires family support, emotional support, mental support, financial support, all sorts of different levels of support, and sometimes it can take many years or days or weeks to get out of that situation. And I think what we see here is Erica Patterson's support system that she was lacking at the time when she first had the child with him, to now Corey and Nick become her a support piece and back her. So she has gotten into a cycle where she just goes back into it because the devil that you know, basically. And now she's got this other support drawing her out and giving her a safety net that she didn't have before for whatever reason. I don't blame or judge whatever family or Erica at the time. Maybe there were, some other factors involved as well. Like there could always be, there's usually some sort of substance or something like that that weakens even the person. There's got to be really a strong front. So let's just dispel all of that right now. They don't deserve to be hit or abused in any way. And getting out of that cycle is not unilateral and requires support. I'll get off my soapbox now. Thank you. Thank you for
Did you
listening.
find her?
Yeah.
Do you remember where you found her?
Right in front of the school.
Okay. Do you remember what was happening when you found her?
He was swerving into her.
When you say he, who are you talking about?
Darrell.
Darrell, the person?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear Darrell saying anything to Erica at that time?
He was yelling at her to get back in the car.
Okay. Did she?
No. She tried, but I pulled her away.
There you go. Support.
Before you testified today, you reviewed a couple of surveillance videos. Is that right?
Yeah. No, not today, but a while ago.
A while ago, not
Yeah.
today. I'd like to put Exhibit 3 up on the screen for the witness for identification.
Go ahead.
So, Ms. Runkle, we're going to play a few moments from this video. I want you to watch and see if it's the same video that you've reviewed previously. Okay, so we're just going to play about 10 seconds here.
I could just tell that's her walking up.
Okay, let's pause there. So you viewed this video. Is it an accurate depiction of how the events unfolded in front of the school you're talking about?
Yeah.
I move Exhibit 3 into evidence and ask to publish.
Any objection, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, my objection would be you've only played 5 seconds of the video, whereas
It's
the
not
other
a
5
legal
you just
objection.
said 10 seconds that you would play. I'm curious to see the rest of the video.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. This is for foundation to establish it's what the witness is going to testify about. She's testified. It's a fair and accurate depiction of what the events that unfolded in her presence, and I will receive Exhibit 3. Permission to publish is granted.
All right, we're going to hit play from the beginning.
So, having seen this a couple of times, I'm thinking this is Erica,
There's his car.
and there's
Let's
the
hit a
SUV.
pause.
Okay.
Let's hit pause.
So he's
We're at
Riding
16
behind her.
seconds. We saw a person wearing a blue shirt walking from the left. Do you know who that person is?
Erica.
Erica Patterson.
Yeah.
And when you said there's his car, what car were you referring to?
The red one. The
And
SUV.
do you know who was driving that car?
Darrell.
Darrell Brooks?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, this would have been the first time you ever saw Darrell Brooks, is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay. We're going to resume from that point, but wait until I pause again to speak again, okay?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So we'll play from 16 seconds.
excuse me. I wish we could see some of it, but I know we're going to see a little bit more of it. I'm going to stop right here. It is weird to go through your day knowing, I mean, we all know that we're on camera many more times than we know we are. It is strange to go through your day and then have to go back and witness something yourself, like she is watching herself or something that she was involved in from a CCTV camera from a particular angle wherever that was, and watch the events unfold. It's strange. I've had to do that before, and it is strange. He's doing the same thing. He's watching himself basically abuse someone, or several people, really.
Let's pause there. Pause at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. During that clip, we saw a red SUV towards the top of the screen. Is that right?
Yeah.
And did you recognize that vehicle?
Yeah, that was Darrell's.
Okay. We see now at this stoppage point, we can see two people on the upper right-hand corner. Do you know who those people are?
Me and Nick.
Do you know which one you are?
The one with the green gloves.
So, left or right?
I think.
As we're
The
looking.
one up in front.
And then there's a person with a white hood. Do you know who that is?
That's Nick.
Okay, so you're the other one on the left?
Yeah.
All right. And you saw Erica?
Yeah.
All right. Let's resume playing at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's pause there. Pause to 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Who's the person in the gray hooded sweatshirt?
That's Darrell.
The objection's overruled. Or answer may stand.
That's Darrell.
How far away would you say your face was from Darrell's face at this point in the video?
I was chesting up.
Chesting up?
Yeah.
So I guess that's pretty self-explanatory. Do you see Darrell Brooks either in the courtroom or on any monitors in the courtroom right now?
Yeah.
Your Honor, and actually for this point I would ask that the court order the defendant to remove his mask.
Mr. Brooks, you're ordered to remove your mask.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Mr. Brooks, we talked about this at a prior hearing. For purposes of identification, you're ordered to unmask. Thank you, sir.
So now I'll re-ask that question. Ms. Rumpel, do you see Darrell, the person you're talking about in the video, either in the courtroom or on a monitor in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you tell us where?
In orange?
On the monitor in front of you?
Yeah.
I'd ask the record to reflect that the
He
witnesses
laughs at her.
identified the defendant.
Because he's so disrespectful of
So
everyone
reflect.
and the process.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. You can remask.
Let's hit play and resume at 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
Do we get to see it now? Oh yeah, okay. Very much Nick and Corey were protecting her. She was pretty lucky.
All right, we've reached the end. Ms. Runkle, can you tell us what was happening in that last portion of the video we just watched?
Well, before Erica, me, and Nick showed up in the camera, that's when I ran after Erica from getting ran over, and then she tried to jump in the car with him, and then I ended up chesting up to him, and then we ended up going at it. So yeah.
How would you describe the level of your volume during that interaction?
Like, what do you mean?
Were you yelling?
Oh yeah.
I'd say yeah.
Was Mr. Brooks yelling?
Yeah.
Was anybody else in that video, either Nick or Erica, were they yelling?
Erica was telling me to stop.
Okay. And what happened after the physical confrontation with Mr. Brooks?
Nick pulled me away.
And then what happened?
And then Brooks walked off
Did you see where he went?
into his car.
The red SUV in the video we
Yeah.
just watched? Was there anybody else in the SUV at that point that you saw?
No.
And what happened next?
After that, it was like he headed out.
Okay. Did Mr. Brooks say anything to you or Erica or Nick as he was leaving?
He told Erica he was... Oh.
The basis for your objection, you said objection, right?
Is hearsay and irrelevant.
Is it being offered for the truth of the matter asserted? From the
Well, it's
state?
a statement by a party opponent, so it's not hearsay.
Oh, it's his.
Okay, so there's some exceptions to the hearsay rule. Again, not an attorney, just understanding as, I don't know, maybe sitting on a jury would, or any kind of layperson. But for the truth of the matter must mean, is she testifying that that was something directed, or that she was in direct communication with, which she wasn't. He was yelling at her, but anybody on that street could be called as a witness and say, did you hear yelling? What did you hear?
Statement, sorry. I think I misheard what she said. All right. The objection is overruled. If it's, she may testify as to words that you spoke on this occasion. Go ahead.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he was gonna kill her.
Could we pull up Exhibit 5 for the
And
witness,
then
please?
laughing, so disrespectful.
I guess while we're waiting on that, did you at any point come into contact with police or a police officer after Mr. Brooks left the scene that we just watched?
I forgot what that guy was at, the little stoppers, like where it stopped everybody. But we came into contact with him, and then he called the police officer, and then we had contact with the police officer.
Okay. At any point while Mr. Brooks was still present for the scuffle, did you or anybody else in your group call the police?
No. need to turn on the state table, please. For preview mode.
I will confirm it's in front of mine and the witnesses monitor, or on our monitor.
All right, Ms. Runkle, I'm showing you on your monitor a photograph that's been marked as State Exhibit number 5. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes.
Who's in that photograph?
Erica?
Erica Patterson? Is that an accurate representation of how Erica looked the night of November 21st, so after the Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes.
I move Exhibit 5 into evidence and ask to publish.
It's upsetting to her.
Any objection?
Yep, on the grounds of, that is hearsay.
Okay.
The objection's noted. It's
She's helping him out, Judge Darrell, by asking him if he wants to object to each entry of the exhibits, because I'm getting the idea that if I'm the defense, I wouldn't want any of their exhibits to be admitted. I would want an objection on the record for each one. So this is another making the trial fair for him example.
overruled.
In my
Exhibit 5 has
opinion, I don't
received
know.
permission to publish.
Chime
this
in if
report.
you're an attorney.
Were you with Erica Patterson the day before the parade, so November 20th?
Yes.
Did she have a swollen left eye on November 20th?
No.
This is upsetting
I
to
want to
her.
go back to the issue of police and whether or not you had contact with them.
That's
Can you describe in a little bit more
she got
detail
hit hard.
what exactly happened with law enforcement after the defendant left the scene that we just watched?
I'm not sure where we walked, but I think we walked straight down to the parade. I'm not sure, but we stopped at these stoppers where there was this I don't know what he's called. It's not a cop, but he was like a guard, and we ended up telling him that what happened, that Erica almost got ran over. I had to pull her away from the car, and he ended up calling the cops. He told us, "Hold on, let me call the cops," and a cop came, and we started talking to him.
Okay, but you don't, or do you remember the name of the officer that you spoke with?
I do not.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for this witness.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
I'm going to go ahead and split this into two just to be sure that all of my equipment's working correctly. And I want to thank you for your patience with that. And then I'll pretty quickly, hopefully today, get the second part of this up. Again, I think she's a pretty good witness. She's obviously a needed witness to establish some foundation here. So we'll see how Darrell does. We all know he's already starting shenanigans. Anyway, thank you. I do want to thank you so much. I'm almost to 100 people watching, so I hope that you're enjoying going through this as much as I'm enjoying trying to get this off of my brain as well. Patty Jo, thank you. Oh, subscribe, like, share, whatever you feel.